Creativity fuels bold ideas, drives innovation, and redefines industries. The inaugural Storyboard18 Global Pioneers Summit brought together trailblazers who are shaping the future, transforming businesses, and elevating Indian brands on the global stage. In this episode, we explore the power of leadership, purpose-driven innovation, and the evolving intersection of creativity and technology.
Very warm welcome to the inaugural edition of the Storyboard18 Global Pioneers Summit, a platform where we celebrate the transformative power of creativity and its unparalleled ability to inspire individuals and businesses to think differently, act boldly, and design a future that resonates with purpose and vision. Quite simply, it is the heartbeat of progress. Today, we gather here for the Storyboard18 Global Pioneers Summit to shine the spotlight on these creative impulses and to honor the pioneers who've propelled Indian businesses and brands onto the global stage. So before we proceed, I would like to thank our partners, powered by SMFG, partnered by Integral Ad Science, insurance partner Kotak Life, our gaming partner Craft on India, snacking partner Lay's, beverage partner Pepsi, sustainability partner PepsiCo, and associate partner Reliance Industries Limited for making this summit possible.
The summit began with an inspiring message from Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia, Minister of Communications and Development of the Northeast region, outlining India's vision for growth, innovation, and connectivity in the digital era.
Greetings to all attending the Storyboard18 Global Pioneers Summit, a summit and a conference that probably could not have been more timely. Viksit Bharat 2047 is no longer merely an aspiration, but under the leadership of our Prime Minister, visionary Prime Minister, Honorable Shri Narendra Modi ji, it has become the shared aspiration, commitment, and laksh of 140 crore Indians. And India, ladies and gentlemen, is not just fostering innovation, it's ensuring that creativity translates into economic growth. A key driver of this transformation is the democratization of technology and telecom. Today, India offers the most affordable data services in the world at 11 cents a GB, enabling millions to connect, create, and innovate. Social media has become a launchpad for entrepreneurship, storytelling, and artistic expression, fueling the creative economy. Our record-breaking 5G rollout is bringing connectivity to every corner of the country, from the first village to the last. India's time, ladies and gentlemen, is now. As Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji says, "Yahi samay hai, sahi samay hai." From a services nation to a product nation, and now to an ideas nation, India is scripting a new global destiny. And therefore, let's march forward with confidence, with innovation as our Brahmastra and Viksit Bharat as our Dharma. Because the future is not something we wait for. The future is something we build. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you very much for having me.
The opening fireside chat, empowering growth through innovation and sustainability for a Viksit Bharat, featuring Hina Nagarajan discussing sustainable business practices, economic growth, and social impact.
Tell me, this journey of yours, leading the India market, and now you're headed to lead the Africa business based in the UK. What were some of the key lessons along the way that you've gathered that you're taking with you now?
Dilshad, there's been a lot of learning through my career, so I can't say it's just from this last job. I mean, I've had I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to work in very different industries. I've worked in paints, I've worked in cosmetics, now Alcobev, Nestle. I was just talking to Suresh. I mean, my first job was Nestle baby food. So, and, across geographies, right? So Malaysia, Singapore, China, Africa. And I think the first lesson for me is leading with purpose really works, right? And I think that has been sort of our win-win formula. I think leading with purpose creates a triple win for consumers, customers, for communities, and for the business. And that, I think, is a lesson I will carry with me, till as long as I'm working. It's not important how much you climb the corporate ladder. It is about how many people you're taking with you. And if people can see work as a legacy, I think you get spectacular results.
If you could sum up, Hina, for me, what are the key pillars that will define this evolution for us?
I think India is on a historic transformation to Viksit Bharat. The digital advancements, the infrastructure expansion, innovation that's happening, the thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem. I think this is all going to lead us to become a global powerhouse. We are on a decisive path to that by 2047. And this is not just about economic progress. This is really about a more sustainable, inclusive, and innovative future for us.
Hina, one last question for you, and given, before you head off to the new role as well, if you had a message for emerging young leaders, people trying to make their own mark in this India's growth story, what would it be?
I would say the first thing is that be bold, take risks. I mean, there is a lot of growth to be had out of stepping out of your comfort zone. Be authentic, right? I think people want to see your strengths, and as a leader, they will depend on you to see your strengths and capabilities. But equally, I have learned that showing your vulnerability sometimes really connects very well with people and makes the team far more connected and responsible for performance. So those are my words.
Thank you so much again, Hina. It's a pleasure chatting with you.
Hina Nagarajan, MD and CEO of Diageo India, was honored for her transformative leadership, pioneering growth strategies, and commitment to fostering inclusivity in the corporate world. In the session, Unleashing Purposeful Innovation, the intersection of creativity and technology, Prabha Narasimhan, MD and CEO, Colgate-Palmolive India, explored how brands integrate cutting-edge technology while staying true to purpose and consumer trust.
Colgate-Palmolive has been at the forefront of innovation. And in today's world, where we have a rapid evolving business landscape, how does Colgate-Palmolive stay agile? How does it stay adaptive to market shifts? And most importantly, for consumer expectations?
As far as product is concerned, Colgate actually is built on a legacy of deep science. I don't think there is a oral care company on this planet that spends more money on understanding what's going on in your mouth and with your teeth and with your gums. And that deep science actually is brought to bear in the tech that comes into everyday products. When oral care first started in this country, it was all about prevent cavities. Make sure that my child doesn't have cavities, he or she is able to go to school pain-free. That was where it all started. It's built from there, and now if you take a look, consumers want fresher breath, whiter teeth, free of gum disease, no cavities.
So if you could also share some insights or lessons from the Indian market, perhaps, that you believe global markets could learn from.
So I think the agility in the Indian market is just exceptional. I mean, I'm privileged to have an exceptionally high quality team that works in Colgate, and the speed with which they respond. So the most recent example, I know it's top of mind for everybody, is the rise of Quick Com. I mean, last year we didn't have Quick Com. This year, everybody everywhere is talking about Quick Com. The ability to respond quickly to say, who is the consumer who's shopping on Quick Com? What is it that they're looking for? And how, therefore, do we drive advantage for that? Has just pivoted like this, and it's been incredible. And the portfolio that we sell on Quick Com is distinct even from the portfolio that we sell in modern trade.
Well, on that wonderful note, I'll have to wrap up this conversation. Thank you for your insight. It was an absolute honor speaking with you.
So much, it's been a pleasure.
A thought-provoking session, the power of poetry and creative influences that fuel innovative thinking in business, brought together industry stalwarts Suresh Narayanan and Prasoon Joshi to explore how storytelling shapes business strategy and brand narratives.
We want to talk a little bit about how creativity, your creative pursuits, have shaped you as leaders. Have you made better business decisions because of kind of the inspiration that you might have got from those pursuits? Let me start with you, Suresh. You shared a few with us here as well. But how do you see it? How do you see that aspect of you influence your leadership and your work as a corporate leader?
My little bit of interest and sensitivity have been nurtured thanks to going to, and I'm making a pitch for my school, one of the finest schools on this planet. It's a school called Rishi Valley. It's down south near Bangalore. And I think the transformative influence which that school had on me has defined my existence even today. I think, that's that, and the environment and the fact that I got exposed to a lot of very creative people at that stage of my childhood has influenced me.
Prasoon, the journey that a lot of Nestle brands have had, we spoke about it briefly when we spoke earlier, which is, how there was poetry that you recited at one point in time when you were working with Suresh on the brands. Tell us a little bit more about that experience.
When he came in here, the first thing I presented to him was in a poetry form, because we needed to remind the country of the 100 years of Nestle in this country, how the journey has been. And I think and his love for pithy writing like Doha, a lot of people ask me, how do you sort of do advertising in poetry and all? I think advertising has taught me the ideas of Doha, the economics of writing. Dohas are very pithy writing. So in that sense, I could write the journey of Nestle. And when you take poetry as your ally, I think if was the same thing was in a presentation, it would have taken 3-4 hours. Yeah. So that's the beauty of it.
Suresh, do you remember that pitch? Do you remember that pitch when...
Very much. It was at a very critical stage. It was when the Maggie fire was burning. And when we were being vilified all around, and where, a company that has been rooted, that has been honest, that has been ethical, was trashed. So I remember the line, the first line, "Aise nahi bana hai aapka Nestle." Sometimes the creative idiom needs to transcend logical boundaries.
Thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure chatting with you both again.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you.
Suresh Narayanan, Chairman and MD of Nestle India, was recognized for his 4-decade journey of resilience, innovation, and transformative leadership, leaving a lasting impact on the industry. In an exclusive fireside chat, Kunal Shah, founder of Cred, shared how AI is revolutionizing consumer engagement, blending intelligence with exclusivity to redefine premium experiences.
What does Kunal Shah use AI for?
Yeah, I think the advantage of being dumb in life is that you have unlimited questions and unlimited questions on many things that you don't understand at all. And I think AI allows a lot of people like me who are clueless about many, many things to constantly know and constantly get curious about things and not have the fear of my expertise being challenged.
AI is changing a lot of customer experiences, accelerating progress in hyper-personalization. Finally, we'll realize the promise of personalization with AI. How is Cred going about it? Can you just give us some of the key points in that strategy?
I think many tech companies, and Cred not being one of them, realized that in India, while you're trying to really solve for everybody through technology, when it comes to at least products requiring some consuming and some financial services, whatever, it's just limited to like 20-30 million customers. And they are 70-80% of all consumption, right? If you look at data, let's say $60-70 billion of e-commerce, GMV, food delivery, everything put together, I think 10 to 12 million customers drive 80% of that consumption, right? So I think my view is AI will make the income disparity kind of go further. I think the overall per capita income will go up for sure, but the top 20-30 million income is going to be dramatically different, and they will behave more like global citizens.
Thank you so much, Kunal.
Thank you.
In a fireside chat, Jagrat Kotecha, CEO of PepsiCo India and South Asia, explored how strategic collaborations are fostering community empowerment and redefining business responsibility.
How do you leave your ego at the door when you say you need to build these partnerships and you're not ashamed to say that as Pepsi? How do you sort of then leave your ego at the door and encourage others to do the same?
About a couple of years ago, when the government came with this whole MLP recycling, uh, many companies individually tried to do what they could do. But we failed because everyone wanted, like Pepsi said, we could do this, XYZ, we could do this. And they wanted to do each one of them in their own way. But we were not able to get that ecosystem going. I think then we collaborated, collectively came together with about 25, 27 like-minded companies, and we created a forum called We Care. And when everyone came to the same passion and ego and the end goal, and left our egos aside, we made that change. I think over 3 to 4 years, these companies ensured 100% of the materials were getting recycled, picked from the market. We created a great ecosystem, and they got into the recycling system. I think that's where it is. When you have a shared goal, and we all moving to the right direction, I think we can leave our egos aside.
Devika Bulchandani, Global CEO of Ogilvy, shared her insights on great marketing isn't just seen, it's felt.
Why is creativity so important? Because creativity connects dots that are unconnected. Because creativity solves problems that need solving. Because creativity makes us feel something. And you know, when we feel something, we do something. And often, when we feel something, we do something irrational, even irrational, I'd say. We buy more of something, like 7 of them. We pay more for something because we felt something. Marketing and creativity is not something that needs to be seen. It's something that has to be felt.
A riveting conversation featuring Devika Bulchandani, Global CEO of Ogilvy, Piyush Pandey, Chief Advisor at Ogilvy India, and Shubhranshu Singh, Chief Marketing Officer, CVBU at Tata Motors, examined how creativity is shaping brand legacies in a fast-changing world.
Is the need to inspire purpose or to be associated with purpose an inherent quality of brands, or is it something that you cultivate once you realize that you could do more when you advance a purpose, associate with a purpose, own a purpose?
I think this is sort of the existential debate that we have in marketing. And it's a very simple way to look at it from my perspective, which is purpose has to come from the business. Because the minute we start thinking about purpose coming from the brand, we can make a purpose up. But if purpose isn't quintessential to the product that you sell, the core of the business model, then it becomes a marketing in a sort of purpose washing.
This surge in short form videos and the fact that a lot of what people consume comes filtered, algorithmically manipulated to an extent in a good way, and that feed is always on, and it's almost as if your finger has a mind of its own, deciding what to pause on, what to double tap, and so on. Now, is that inherently cramping creative joy for higher order things like purpose? Can you do a great job with short form advertising on social platforms?
If all of us have seen small cartoon strips of R.K. Lakshman, just 5x1 or whatever the size is, in that he could be very sarcastic, he could be very funny, he could be a great observer. If you're that good, you can do a short form. It's not about length, it's about how well you impact. People talk about opportunities to see. It's not opportunities to see, it's opportunities to impact. What did you do in that little 1 second, or in 60 seconds, or 1 minute?
Do give it up for Devika and our very own Piyush Pandey. Thank you very much.
Visionaries behind the Dream 11 campaign decoded the secrets behind creating truly unforgettable ads, blending creativity, star power, and storytelling to capture audience attention.
Let me just cut to the chase and ask you one of the most important questions I've been dying to know, which is, who among the cricketers is the best actor to work with? Sriram, start with you.
Perhaps be Rohit.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Yes.
like over the years, I think MS
He's really honed his acting
Virat,
skills.
all these guys are really good. And they're getting better with every campaign. So yeah, they're good actors. Better than
Nitesh?
some of our actors also.
Nitesh, who was it for you?
I
How
agree
was
with
it
what
directing them?
Shriram said, but most of them are very competent. I'm like kind of surprises me.
Yeah, they
Every
did?
time I work with them, yeah.
And others for you, who did you think performed the best?
I mean, I agree with Sriram, but I have a personal bias towards Rishabh. Yeah, he's very cute in life only, and I mean, everybody calls him Rishu on set, and I think Rishabh is very funny on screen also.
Dream 11 has had a trajectory of a certain kind of celebrity-led advertising, but for this particular one, packing in so many celebrities, was that ever the intention? And I'll come to Sriram and Adarsh, the two of you, for this.
No, I think it's clear the brand's ambition to, serve up entertainment alongside sort of messaging what the brand itself is about. But entertainment clearly is a priority.
Across the years, in fact, even 2 years back when we did the Three Idiots campaign, Amir has always been a super sport, and usually that tends to, set the tone. So if somebody like Amir is a sport, everybody tends to just chill out and realize, yeah, this is funny, and this, if we laugh with the people, it'll lead to something a bit more, pop culture first, and not just aping what other people find funny.
Right. Nitesh, you and Amir, of course, have strong ties. Tell me about the experience of doing this this commercial, because you had a mix of course, iconic actors, and then you had iconic cricketers. How do you bring the two together? What was the conversation like between you and Amir, for instance?
No, I'm like, I consider myself fortunate that I kind of have worked with everybody in the past, so I have a rapport with everyone who was there in this commercial. So that makes things very easy. If you're working with somebody for the first time, it takes a while for that person to understand your style of working and for you to understand what do you need to do to get that stuff out of, say, a cricketer or an actor and stuff like that. So that made it very easy. What really works in the favor of this campaign is we were dealing with extremely secure actors, who were in fact more than willing to go out of their way to push the ad to its desired conclusion. It's a combination of everything, It's a combination of everything.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It was lovely chatting with you.
Thank you so much.
From leadership to purpose-driven innovation, the summit showcased the transformative power of creativity and collaboration. Stay tuned for the next episode where we dive into AI, storytelling, and the future of brand engagement.